Hey everybody, Belinda Sandor here with Dana. We are here tonight to talk about VA school, and Dana is a recent grad, and so I'm going to ask her some questions so you can learn more about her journey and what she thought about VA school and her experience. So now when you started VA school, and you still do, you have a full-time job, right?
I
So,
do.
yeah. So tell me about the job and why, what you want the transition to be and what made you jump in.
Well, what made me jump in is, let's see if I can find, I don't have a picture. Well, I do have a picture of my grandson, but I don't know if it'll come across. The birth of my adorable, as you say, delicious, was that Christine?
Yeah, Christine's here.
My buddy, my
buddy.
My daughter nearly died delivering my grandson. She went septic, big, long story. Anyway, so I lived with her for 2 months. Ooh, there's our
reminder.
Reminder that I'm supposed to meet with you. So I lived with her for 2 months because she and the baby who was premature needed round the clock care. And so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 months. And, it was really nice. I had been trying to climb out of a pit of depression because I'm in healthcare, so we're all kind of in a pit of depression because it's a challenging season right now. And so I just was like, and I'm a woman of faith. So I cried out to God and I said, I'm holding this little bundle of joy. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this. I want to be here for my family, but I live 2 states away. And it's just not, a financially doable thing. And so I said, okay, what can I do? I'm a writer. I've ghostwritten books and things like that, but I need something bigger than that. I need something broader, I guess.
Steadier, yeah.
And a steadier income. And so I literally, and I'll probably get emotional. I believe that it was the Lord because I sensed the phrase virtual assistant. Never really heard the term before, but I sensed it. And I'm like, what is that? And so I Googled it and researched it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could do that. Yeah. I could totally do that. And so it's like, but I don't know how to do that. And so I'm like, okay, if this is something from the Lord, then okay, Lord, you're going to have to guide me to people that can walk me through the process, to people who can mentor me, and don't get emotional. I'm getting emotional.
No, emotion is good. You should have seen me. What was it? Thursday, I could hardly speak. I was reading some testimonials and
I saw that.
Yeah. It's good to let that out. It's good. It's good. And I'm thrilled to be part of something that's so important to you that it is emotional.
It was. And so I stumbled onto one person's, she had a business. And so I was watching some of her YouTube videos and I thought, man, I could totally do this. I could totally do this. And then I don't even know how I connected. It either popped up on Facebook or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? And so I watched your video on VA school and I thought, I need to go to school. You learn how to do this stuff. I've been in corporate for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
And the only thing I did as a sole proprietor was write. But it is overwhelming to think that you have to, there's tools that other people don't provide for you. See, the corporate always provided Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office, and, so you learn the tools on their time and you use it. But oh my gosh, so you have to do this on your own? Oh my gosh, that's kind of scary. So it was a very overwhelming, it was just very overwhelming. And so doing VA school broke it down into bite-sized pieces, especially with my schedule. And I started that I came back home in May And I can't remember when you launched it.
Like June 19th or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. I was only home a few weeks. And I thought, okay, this is a financial commitment, but I think it's going to be worth it. And so I dove right in and did it on the weekends. And, or sometimes, you know, while I'm sitting at my desk and I have very little work to do, I would plug in my phones and I'd listen to the study halls. And so I did it in bite-sized pieces. And the more I listened and the more I learned, and the more I learned about the community, that's the big thing to me, is the community. Because I'm thinking I'm going to be all by myself with a computer and not knowing what the heck to do. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm not going to be by myself. I've got hundreds of people at my disposal to, like Christine Schrader, to you know, quickly message and say, how do you do such and such? Or I'm stuck on this. And so it's kind of like you're in an office with people, because you are, but you're working on your own stuff for your own people.
Right. And there's no office politics and no one's competing with each other.
And there's no mask mandate in my own office.
Right.
Gosh.
I know. Christine is the best. She is so generous. I'm not surprised that she's here to support you. I'm not surprised.
Yes. We've spent 2 Saturdays, I think, just two or 3 Saturdays, I don't know, just working on issues with websites. And then I got to pour into her about ghostwriting and what that's like. That's what I do. So, yeah, it's been wonderful. You know, you get these friends that you've never met in person.
I know.
She's like, oh, you guys.
Can you hear her? I can hear her. Yeah.
But, you know, and it's just, you start to get to know these people, and you befriend them on Facebook, and then you start to know about their life and, you know, their children. And it's just kind of a cool thing. It's just you're not alone. You don't feel alone.
Yeah. You know, I know that is a critical thing, because when I'm alone, I make up stuff that is not helpful. You know, like the reason the person is not texting me back is because I shouldn't have said something, or because I said something, or, you know, and you just make up stuff. And when you realize, you know, like, for example, some people sent out their email announcement for their business. And the response was, a couple of people said, yay, go, that's great. And they thought that maybe a whole bunch of people were going to hire them. So when they hear that, oh yeah, that's what usually happens. That was just the first step. Now we're going to do this. And then, you know, results will come over time. Then they're not thinking about quitting. They're thinking, oh, this is normal. This is like what happens. Okay, so this might take a little longer. That's okay. I'm on the path, you know. And that's why I've always been in coaching groups and courses with people who are trying to get where I want to go, because if I knew, I would just be there already, right?
Right. And the wonderful thing about this, I was thinking about this today, is I can say I have a business mentor.
Oh, you're very sweet.
I do. I can say, and I feel more important.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I say that. I'll say, yeah, my coach, and that's what she calls herself. And it does help me feel more credible in some ways. You know, like I'm legitimately doing this. You know, I'm really have, you know, irons in the fire, and I'm taking it seriously. So I can see how you would feel that way. Definitely.
It's true. And, you know, you provide a map is basically what you're doing. You're providing a map. And that's what a mentor does.
Right.
Chicken chatter.
Christine, she's talking about all the voices in our head, the chicken chatter. Yeah.
It's constant. It is constant. And I've started to say the words chicken chatter in my head. As a matter of fact, this morning, while I was trying to pray, in my head, and I'm like, chicken chatter. It's got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hear you in my head, Belinda, during my prayer time.
Oh my gosh, crazy, right? Really crazy.
The community is amazing.
I'm glad. Yeah, I know. You know, that always surprises me. And what I'll say to people when we start a new group, of anything, you know, and there's a Facebook group and a community, I'll say to people, okay, so just so you know, you're going to have a new best friend or more. And I always kind of felt funny and like a little, I don't know if pretentious is not the right word. It's like a little like, how would I know that kind of? But it happens every time. I mean, when we had the launch pad, the women that were in the launch pad, they have like reunions, they have meetings. The people who are in, you know, different groups, they continue to meet, and it's so cool. And sometimes they invite me, and I go and hang out with them, and it's really fun. So tell us where you are now, because you have some really exciting news of what's happening on your phone right now, right?
Yeah, as we were getting on, I do have some exciting news. Let's hope it's exciting.
Well, it is either way, however it turns out, right?
It's a step in the right direction.
Right.
So I haven't done the email announcement yet, just because I'm behind as usual. So I'm doing all that this weekend. But my daughter is a life coach. She has her master's degree in psychology, and so she is going to be connecting with. And her husband had trouble with infertility, and so they were looking to adoption and had a couple failed adoption attempts. It was very tragic, and in the midst of all this, she gets pregnant. But she's connected with a lot of coaches who coach birth moms and adoptive parents. And so that's who she's going to hopefully start working with. And so the woman, bless her heart, was on the phone with Hannah today and said, I'm just, my office is chaotic. Everything's chaotic. I don't know whether I'm, you know, and she was just kind of like this. And I joked with Hannah the day before, because Hannah kept saying, we keep missing each other because her life is too chaotic. And I said, it sounds like she needs a virtual assistant. Tell her you know one. I was kidding, sort of, just a little bit. Well, she said that to her friend, Michelle. She said, so it sounds like you could really use a virtual assistant. You know, my mom is trying to build a business, or she's starting to build a business so she can move down here and be a part of our family down here. And she's like, I need to talk with her. Give me her number. So we connected today. We've been texting back and forth. And that's my
little delicious man.
There's my little delicious man. He's 7 months old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
He's a doll. So anyway, so we've been texting back and forth. And so now we have a meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and this is nothing that I had to beg for. This is nothing, Christine. I know you'd be excited. I was going to message you after this. This is nothing I had to battle for.
No.
It really was. Destiny and things like that. That flows through relationship. It doesn't always flow through an aha sunbeam from heaven, and bam, you're there. It happens through relationship, and it happens through your friendships and family.
That's right.
You know, or like your chiropractor. I have a potential second client for newsletters with my chiropractor.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't even started officially my business. I've got it named. I know what and I bought the name, did all that. Christine and I are working on a website stuff. I don't even have my EIN yet.
Yeah, you don't need all that stuff. I mean, you have to get that stuff, and you need to legitimize everything, but you don't need it off the bat. You know, like when I was at the school bus stop and this guy, Will, says, can you help me? I didn't say, wait, let me set up my website. I was like, yeah. When can I cut? Tomorrow? Sure. What time? Yeah. You know, and I walked myself over to his house. You know, and eventually I became virtual once I understood that, I met Greg. Re-met him. I knew him in high school, but I met him, and he was 264 miles away, and I really liked him. And so I had to figure out how to get in the cloud, and I did. I was motivated, and that's how I became virtual, because I needed to be able to get in the car and drive down here.
Oh, it's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I don't know if this will go anywhere, because I don't know if she's looking for full-time. Hey, if she's looking for full-time and she can afford me, great. I quit my job.
Right.
But if not, that's okay.
Well, you're going to have your first discovery call.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, right? You know, you're going to have it, and it's either it's going to go how it goes, and let's not even say good or bad. It's just going to go, and she might be your new best friend, and you know you love her, and you just can't wait to help her, or she might say, "I need you to do this thing that you have no interest in." But here's the thing. You put it out there, and see, that's how it works, because I've been hired by the woman who owns my daughter's driving school. I've been hired by my dry cleaner. I've been hired by my best friend's, you know, sister's brother. You know, it's like that's how it works. And the bigger the web that you generate by, you know, meeting more and more people and sending newsletters out and the keep in touch emails and all the things we talked about in the challenge, it's like that L'Oreal commercial, you know, and so on and so on,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's just what's doing. It just starts naturally doing that. So like my latest client that I got this week, she saw an email a few years ago. No. She saw me speak at the library like 3 or 4 years ago, kept my card, needs somebody now. Like I don't even know who this is, but as soon as she told me how she knew, oh, okay, of course, you know, and that's how that happens. It just happens like that. And that's what's so magical about it, is to see how everyone's connected. You know, like I have clients that are sisters, you know, one's in Massachusetts, one's in Texas. You know, I have clients who they went to elementary school together, but they live on opposite sides of the country. You know, there just starts to be all this interconnection, and when you do it this way, and it's fun and it's nice. Yeah. Well, good for you.
Like you, I was thinking, and because I'm a perfectionist, so I'm thinking, okay, well, I have to do this, then I have to do this, and then I have to have the website, and that has to be up, and I can't do anything because I don't have, and suddenly apparently you don't, you know, and I had a writing mentor tell me one time, and this is what I would tell anybody who's looking to launch anything but VA school or to be a virtual assistant, is he told me, he said, you know, sometimes you have to jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down.
I have never heard that. I love that, and I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh.
As I was preparing for tonight, I was like, that came to me, and I thought that's exactly what this feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do it scared, and I've heard you say that. Do it scared.
Right.
Do it anyway. Do it. Just do it. And right. So, and I've been, because I am the opposite. I am a planner, and A has to be done before B, and then you do C, and that's not where this is going to go.
No, and I'm like that too. And I did trip myself up a few times because, you know, I can't announce this until I have that, and if I can't have the URL, and you know, one of my friends was like, just do the work, and I caught up, and it took a few years, you know, to get my website the way I wanted and my business card, and I redid my logo, because my logo originally was a $2 clip art that I put some color on, you know, and and you get there, you know, and you just learn one thing at a time, you know, and it builds, it just builds over time, because otherwise, like, how do you get out of bed? Like, I don't know. It's too much. It's just too much. Yeah.
I've felt that. I have felt the overwhelming arc above me with all the different transitions. But, you know, I keep hearing Belinda say, just do one thing.
Yeah, just one thing.
Just do the one thing, you know, and so I was going to start with newsletters, because writing is my superpower.
Yeah, and that is a super smart place to start. That's where I started, because someone told me to, and I trusted them. And this person has helped. I just got off the phone with them a few minutes ago, because I had a question about something and a voice in my head. You know, what should I do about this? And so newsletters are so good, because the course that's included in VA school teaches you. It has the template. It has how to upload, how to download, what time to send, how do you make the button, how do you connect. So it does all of that. So you do it for yourself, and then you know how to do it, and then you send it to everyone you know. Now everyone you know knows that you know how to do it. And like, so many people need newsletters. I know a lot of people are like, you know, Twitter and this and something else and whatever. I have a steady stream of revenue that comes in every single month from doing newsletters. When COVID hit, they didn't stop. In fact, they picked up because people were panicking. They're like, oh my gosh, I have to stay in front of my people even more, so newsletters, I think it's a really smart way. And if you can provide the writing as well for clients, holy cow, I could never do that. But I still have plenty of work. Some people do newsletters every week. That's 4 hours a month or more just for one client. So that's good. Good for you. Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about your lifestyle. So it sounds like the dream can really come true of you moving closer to your daughter and, with, your grandson, and that would be awesome. And that's what happened to me. I wanted to live near Greg, and I didn't miss a day. Really, they put it in the truck. We drove the truck down. It was 3 hours, and my computer was set up immediately, and I unpacked as I had time. But I told my clients because I was excited, and I'm always looking for opportunities to say, hey, how's it going? This is what's happening. And so we did it was really cute, Rocket Girl on the Move, and we had this truck and a rocket in the back, and it was fun. But Mark, he's such a genius. But you do have that flexibility. And then when we were bringing Emily down to DC to go to Germany for college, we put a couple of monitors in the back of the car, and I set up shop, took her to the airport, came back, and jumped right into my work. And then we, went out to Georgetown for dinner, so you have a lot of flexibility, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more questions. You were so generous with your time. I really appreciate it. So one question is, what is your biggest aha? Like, what is the thing? And what I mean by that is there something that you saw that you didn't think was going to be there? That it was like, oh, like an aha moment.
An aha moment.
Yeah, like something that surprised you.
Gosh, I was surprised at how available you are to all the students. That was a game changer for me because, and I follow on Facebook. I follow another person who has a business and a school for VAs. She's never there. She's never there. I mean, you see all the people that she's been working with. She's not available.
Yeah.
You're a one-on-one available, and if you can't, somebody else in the group will.
Right.
That was, I think, the biggest mind blow to me. That this isn't just an online school.
No.
This is an online community.
Yeah.
And that it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different
thing.
thing.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing for me was I wasn't going to do it unless I could be with the people, because I hate taking classes and then you have a question and you can't get to the person, and they have all these like, well, you get this, but you don't get that, so what's the point? What's the point? Because for me, I want you guys to have good, successful businesses, and I figured it out. And so it's so much joy to be able to help you. That's the thing that I would have study hall every day. I don't think you guys need it, but I would have it every day. It would be my happy hour.
What I find funny about it is I'm an introvert. You said you're an introvert. See me, I'd be like, but at the same time, I love interacting with all the community, because then all the overwhelming arc of all the stuff, it's less frightening.
Yeah.
Because you've got people right there, and so that to me was probably the biggest aha. Is I really do feel like I have a bunch of partners.
Yeah.
I'm Christine helping me with a website.
I know.
A shot, that's a long time. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, and then Facebook went down. I know, we were away from each other for a whole day. Like, okay, now what?
Yeah. Now what do we do with our time?
I know. Yeah, I'll tell you what I did. I created a group on LinkedIn. which I've been working on because I thought, you know what, we're not, this is not going to take us down. We're going to be together, one place or the other. So, so after the challenge is all over and VA school rolls out, I'm gonna work on that. You know, building a community that we can be on there as well, because we don't want to get in trouble like that. Yeah, for sure. All right, so you know, a piece of advice for someone thinking about VA school, and then I'm going to let you go back to your afternoon because you're in Washington, so it's about 4:00 there, right?
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My piece of advice for somebody considering do it. Do the budget plan. Don't get lattes for a month. I don't know. Just do it.
Right. Lattes for a month. You're right. Yeah. Those frappuccino things.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be so isolated with your chicken chatter in your head, talking you out of it. That's probably my biggest thing blocking me is me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I do. I'm familiar.
Yeah. You know, so to have the school and to have the availability of other like-minded people, it is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
And I mean, I took it out of my savings. I figured, okay, you know, God forbid anything happens where I don't need that money, but it's going to be worth it, and it is.
Yeah, we're going to make it back in a minute. Yeah. It really doesn't take much, you know, and you start out charging the right rate. If someone's coaching you, you know, you're not working for $15 an hour, and you know, you learn how to get the good clients who want to pay you, and it pays for itself before you even know it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. This has been great. I love spending this time with you. And you have to keep us posted in the Facebook group and let us know what happens with this discovery call. Okay.
Oh, I know. I'm excited and nervous all at the same time.
Yeah.
I love you. We love you.
I know. Yeah, she's the best. All right, everybody. So keep an eye on the group. We're going to have an announcement tomorrow about I'm going to have a campus tour on Sunday. We've got 2 bonus trainings coming up on Monday and Tuesday on the debit card course and the newsletter course, where I'm going to really take, open the lid on those 2 bonuses that come with VA school and show you what they're all about. So thank you again, Dana. And I'll see you all tomorrow or tonight, probably in the Facebook group. Okay.
Yep. See you later. Okay. Bye.